Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Take a look at where J.D. Vance was on Ignatius of Loyola Day, April 19th, 2025. Of course, Ignatius of Loyola is the founder of the Jesuits. This is the day in history that he was recognized as the first superior general of the Jesuits. That was 484 years ago. And J.D. Vance is at the Vatican in the time of the first ever Jesuit Pope. And the interesting thing about April 19th is it's the 109th day of the year. And something tells me J.D. Vance might be getting the script for his elevated status coming sometime within this administration. And maybe as soon as the next year. To remind you, Trump had the assassination hoax July 13th, 2024. And then just right after that, the GOP convention began in Milwaukee, and J.D. Vance was named the VP nominee. And immediately the media said he's the youngest VP nominee since Teddy Roosevelt. And in history, Teddy Roosevelt was shot in Milwaukee. And he was shot after McKinley was shot because McKinley was assassinated his first year in office. He was the 25th President McKinley. Here we are in 2025. Don't forget that in Gematria, Pope equals 25, as does Vatican, as does Earth, which it rules over, at least in its own mind, but also through its own authority and colonization of the planet. But anyway, McKinley shot, Teddy Roosevelt replaces him, and, Trump, he renamed Denali back to McKinley in 2025, one of the first things they did when they took office. But here's the other piece of this that's interesting. April 19th is the 109th day of the year. April 19th, the 109th day of the year. Remember, in Gematria, shooting equates to 109, and we talked about this last year with the World Series. The last three times the Dodgers have beat the Yankees in the World Series, it was a year that a president got shot. Last year, Trump got shot. The time before that was when Reagan got shot. The Dodgers beat the Yankees. Remember, Fernando Valenzuela and Rudy May faced each other in that World Series, and they both died together right before the World Series began last year, and nobody blinked an eye on the opening day of the NBA season. And then the time before that the Dodgers beat the Yankees was 1963. 1963, the year JFK was shot. Now, remember, in Gematria, Los Angeles equals 109. Yankees equals 109. Shooting equals 109. Last year, the Dodgers won the World Series, defeating the Yankees with their 109th total win of the year, and they did it exactly 109 days after the shooting hoax of Trump. And again, how do they put all this together? It's because it's all one big fat script brought to you by the Jesuit cabal. They run your sports leagues, your government, your news media, and it should be very apparent after all the years of countless examples. You just had a classic one that just unfolded in March Madness, again, where we continue to nail these futures. Don't forget the other year when the Dodgers broke the 32-year drought, they did it over the Rays. And there's 32 sun rays on the Jesuit Order's logo. California's got some Jesuit universities for certain. But yeah, on the 109th day of the year, Ignatius of Loyola, J.D. Vance is over at the Vatican. Somebody out there would be like, he's just doing that because it's Easter. Okay, the only reason you even know about Easter is because of the Vatican. And now they've taken these other spiritual things and rebranded it from Ishtar to Easter. Vice President J.D. Vance met with the Vatican's number 2 official Saturday. That's April 19th in Rome. Don't forget that Saturday also has the gematria value of 109. And the pair had an exchange of opinions on international issues, including migrants and deportations under the Trump administration. I tell him, listen, J.D., we like that border open because it's bringing in all kinds of Catholics to the country. All those people south of you, they're all Catholic. We've colonized. There was an exchange of opinions on the international situation, especially regarding countries affected by war, political tensions, and difficult humanitarian situations, with particular attention to migrants, refugees, and prisoners, a statement from the Vatican said after the meeting. Finally, hope was expressed for serene collaboration between the state and the Catholic Church in the United States, whose valuable service to the most vulnerable people was acknowledged. I like how they put this nice spin on it. Aren't they going to talk about the upcoming political theater that they got planned? Is it going to be Trump's other ear? Is he going to get an even bigger bandage? Is he going to force him into an early retirement? Vance, who converted to Catholicism in 2019. Wow, now I'm starting to see how he got the nomination. Wow, look how that works. Vance, who converted to Catholicism in 2019. Met with Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the Vatican's Secretary of State, and Archbishop Paul Gallagher, its foreign minister. Yeah. Oh, see, it's a small hat. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. I don't know how many different ways I can prove my point and why the rest of the world isn't catching on. Maybe tomorrow's Easter special will bring it home. Until next time, Truth Seeker.